Okay, this is how to tank Upper Ramparts on a leveling protection warrior. This video is actually going to be a little bit different from the rest of my videos. I've actually sped this up. It's running at 150% speed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show the entire run so that I can actually show how I pull and how I go about just tanking a normal instance run for me. What you want to do is try to make it as quick as possible, so pull in bigger groups, as big as your healer can stand and as much as you can hold aggro on is what you're going to want to do. Normally whenever I make these videos I'm not trying to do that because I'm trying to actually get footage to show off some of the boss fights and things like that. In this I actually was thinking about going that way, so this is not as fast as it could have been. The pulls aren't as big as they could have been, but I do have to say that I ran this place 3 or 4 times and we had a good healer. His name was Hill Sopali from the Storm Reaver server. He's a very good healer. He stays out in front of the group so that he can keep up with me as I charge into the next group. What you're going to want to do is basically, if you're trying to make a run as fast as possible and you have a really good healer, is every time that charge and thunderclap are both off cooldown, you're going to want to pull the next group. So you're going to want to charge, rend, thunderclap, and then cleave and revenge spam until charge and thunderclap come back off cooldown, and then go ahead and pull the next group. And just let your DPS finish off whatever is left of the group so that you can keep the run going as fast as possible. Now in this run, one thing that I will say is that I did upgrade some of my gear from something other than doing some dungeon runs. What I did was, since my shield was like a level 40 shield, I did a couple of battlegrounds to get enough honor to buy the Grand Marshal shield. It's not a bad shield, and it definitely does help out a lot from the shield that I was using, which was like a level 40 item. Didn't have much luck on getting any shield drops, so I just went ahead and grinded out a couple of battlegrounds to get the honor to go ahead and buy that. I actually ended up winning those battlegrounds, so I actually had enough honor to actually upgrade some of the other Grand Marshal gear too. And so if you've noticed a difference in my gear from the last video and this one, that would be the reason. One other thing that you're going to have to start looking out for as you've gotten up to level 58 around in there is that you're going to have to start watching out for Death Knights. They're not really gonna know how to play their class yet. They start at level 55. If they come in here, they may be in blood presence, they may be pulling mobs off you with their death grip, which works as a taunt. A lot of them don't know that, but they will pull mobs off you, and all I can say is just be prepared to deal with some Death Knights. You're going to see the actual Death Knight in this run. He will grip mobs away from me, grip them out of my AoE, and he's actually in blood presence for a little bit. This is the first boss of the run. Nothing really any different from the ordinary orcs. He has more health, and he has 2 healers with him. Just make sure his healers go down first, and he'll go down pretty quick. Going right here, we're still killing a lot of the trash. There's not too many casters in this, so you don't really have to worry about there being that many casters, and the casters there are just spam AoE right on top of you. So as long as they're in the thunderclap that spreads rend to them, you really shouldn't have to worry about keeping aggro on them, because they're just going to spam the AoE hellfire right above you. As we go on through the run, we're just clearing more and more trash. The trash in these runs is pretty simple to tank. It's charge, rend, thunderclap, cleave, and revenge spam until your stuff comes up, and then charge the next group. As far as this format right here on the video, I'd love to hear some comments about how you like to see the sped up runs. I know that some people were saying that they'd like to see more of the actual runs instead of just the bosses. Not sure what I'm going to do in the future. I may actually speed up the runs a lot and show a lot of the trash tanking, and then actually slow down the bosses for more of a strategy type deal on the bosses. I haven't actually done that in this. This is all sped up the entire run. But I'd love to hear some comments on what you guys think. Should I slow down the boss fights and speed up trash and still show a lot of the trash? Should I go back to just showing the boss fights? Or would you like to see the entire run at full length? The only thing I can say is I'm not sure what all to comment on as the run is going on, because some of these videos get kind of long, and if I do show an entire run at normal speed, some of these videos could be very long and I would probably run out of things to say. But I could always just go with the game sounds and just address stuff whenever it comes up and just let the game sounds play in the background. So just let me know what you want to see, what you think of this format. If you want to see slowed down boss fights to normal speed so that I can talk strategy, that is one option. If you want to see the entire run sped up, or if you just like the old format of only showing the bosses. This is the second boss in the dungeon. He really only has 2 abilities you're going to have to watch out for. He's going to summon Fell Hunters. Make sure you have Thunderclap or Cleave up to pick him up when he summons them. He's going to place a debuff on one party member that's going to do AoE damage to everyone around that party member. It's nothing you really need to worry about. Any healer is going to be able to heal through that. The last boss in the dungeon is coming up, and it is a 2-phase fight. The first phase is going to be an orc who jumps off the back of the dragon. The guy is going to just be like a normal orc. He hits a little bit harder, has a little bit more health, but there's nothing really any different about him. Another thing you're going to see is the dragon, while you're in phase 1, is going to be shooting fireballs at you. Just don't stand in the fire and you'll be fine on phase 1. Right there you can see the Death Knight just death gripped that mob away from me. And now here's the third boss. When he lands, you're going to want to pick up the orc as he comes out there. Once you get him, he'll go down pretty quickly. The dragon may shoot fire at you, he may not. Then you want to charge in on the dragon. He does do an AoE fire attack, so you want to spin him away from the group. He's also going to put fire on the ground, so you want to keep moving, don't stand in one spot so that you avoid the fire.